Welcome to Solo Travel TV. This is Yogita Ridgley, and I am coming to you with a beautiful story and a beautiful lady who is going to share her insights of solo travel. Let's welcome Tracy. Tracy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, happy to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to hear your story. Let's start with a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, and just a little bit so the readers and the listeners can actually get to know you.
Yeah, hi. So I said I'm Tracy. I'm 49. I live at the moment in Shetland, which is a tiny island, the most northerly part of Britain. It's very rural, which is great. I've got 3 grown children. They're kind of 20, 23, 21, and 19 these days. Obviously, I'm not originally Scottish. I'm from England, but I've lived in Scotland a really long time. I only recently started solo traveling a couple of years ago when I was 47. As I had a family quite young, and we had all the children growing up and such like, so I didn't have the sort of money to travel then. But I've enjoyed it so much. I just have the travel bug like 100% now. I just want to go everywhere and see everything. And so I recently set up my own independent travel agent because I just love everything about travel so much.
Excellent. That sounds amazing. I love the idea of this travel bug because you know what? I think it unites people from all around the world because they've been bitten by this bug. Start with what got you started to go on a journey of solo traveling? What was the first or one of the reasons that you wanted to go solo traveling?
Yeah, there's a couple of main reasons. First of all, I've been single for quite a number of years. And so I had friends who still had younger children or still had partners, and they were still traveling in their sort of family groups. So I didn't really have anyone to go with in that sense, which I think is quite common with women my age. Then the other thing was I started reading travel books. I can't remember how I stumbled across one to start off with, but I read a lot. And I started finding travel blogs from women solo travelers who had gone out there and explored the world. And I found these women really inspiring. And kind of once you get into that, there's kind of one leads on to another and you learn more and more. And I started feeling, I was totally inspired by them, and I started feeling like, well, okay, if they can do this, I can do this. I'm an intelligent woman. I can, surely if they can manage it, I can do it. So that was what kind of spurred me on and gave me the confidence to take that first step. There's all these other women out there doing this already.
That's absolutely awesome. That it really is one of the biggest reasons I do these video series is when they watch other women speak about how they have actually started their journey. They see that if she can do it, I can do it as well, because that is one of the biggest things we fear about taking that first step. But once we've taken it, it's kind of like, it just flows because you allow, one step at a time, take at your level, your limitations, and keep pushing the boundaries as you're going. Now, my next question for you, which is probably going to be exciting because you are one of the older solo traveler, in the group, so to speak. What is one of the things you love about solo traveling?
Well, there's a few things. And one of the first things that I love is the freedom that you've got with it. There's no compromising. I don't really want to go and view that football stadium. I'd rather go to, spend 3 hours in a museum. And I'm a bit of a history nerd, and I love museums. And I found that I really love churches. Everywhere I go, like, churches are so beautiful and peaceful. They've just got this lovely atmosphere inside them, I find, and I can spend as long as I want sort of mooching around or just sitting and sort of soaking in the atmosphere without feeling that I'm on anybody else's agenda and that I might be, somebody else might be getting bored and I need to think about them. It's very kind of liberating to just, after being a mum for so many years and running a family, and that it's quite liberating to actually just have yourself to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean by, the freedom to be able to do things that only pleases you, because as a mom, you're constantly giving. As a woman, you're constantly giving. You're either someone's mother or someone's daughter or someone's friend or someone's partner. So this solo, trip makes it just about you and, no pleasing no one except for yourself, which is amazing.
I know. Sorry.
I have to admit, one of the most beautiful things about solo traveling that I love is that you really don't have to do anything unless you want to. And that is as amazing as it gets, I guess.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
now, what was the first place you actually went as your solo travel trip?
So the first trip that I booked was to Italy, and I went to Venice and then to Rome, which was it was just breathtaking. I think that's possibly why I love Venice so much, because it was that first experience, and I was just kind of in awe of everything, and I was just like, yeah, wow, just it was amazing. So Venice and Rome, I was really pleased with myself because I managed to book train travel and navigate the train system between Venice and Rome, which was something I was really nervous about, but it was really straightforward. The machines were very similar to the machines that we get in train stations in Britain. And it worked out absolutely fine. So I was going, yay, go me.
Excellent. When I hear stories like that, I feel so proud. It's like almost like the mom watching the kid walk for the first time, kind of proud. So, and in hindsight, we all can do it. We just have got that unknown factor that, what if this happens or what if that happens? But 99% of the time, none of those things happen. We just have it. What if, and the collection is so big in our mind. I know with the excitement of traveling solo and so many beautiful things about traveling solo, what is one thing that you don't like about traveling solo?
I wouldn't say it's something that I don't like, but I would say it's something that I still struggle with a wee bit. And it's that kind of idea. I often think if I had somebody with me, if I was with a friend or something, I would feel more relaxed sitting in a cafe or having a drink for much longer lengths of time. I'm okay now eating on my own. That was a struggle to start off with, but I'm okay doing that now. But I don't feel, I think, relaxed enough yet to that kind of just sit and sort of chill afterwards. Does that make sense? So it's that kind of, it's that being comfortable in a kind of situation that's more social. And I know that that's a situation that a lot of women kind of struggle with, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like a lot of people I talk to, like I started as a solo traveler and started to actually blog about my traveling. And one of the questions that I got quite often was, how do you sit in the cafe and eat alone without kind of having that fear of people staring at you or just being uncomfortable? It really, it doesn't matter if anybody's looking or not. You're just uncomfortable, doesn't matter what. And I said, one of the things I do is I pretend like I'm sitting in front of my TV at home. So nobody actually exists around me, it's just me. So it becomes more comfortable because I've created that home environment in wherever I am, which, if it works, absolutely, stick to it. If it doesn't, as you keep practicing, it gets better.
I think that practicing thing's important because I regularly now go to a local cafe, or when they were open, and when they come back open, I miss doing that. And I sit and I've got my laptop and I have a coffee, and I'm 100% comfortable now doing that there. It's kind of like a local place. Hopefully that will transfer when I do my next trip. That's maybe
absolutely.
Right, local somewhere.
Absolutely. Practice at home before you take overseas and outside your hometown. Now, my next question, this is one of the most famously asked questions a lot of people want to know about. This is the fact that when you are somewhere and you are traveling for the first time or second time, what is one thing that you have actually met or done or seen that has literally changed you as a person?
I think for me, it's the actual experience of having that journey. And therefore, it's given me that knowledge and that kind of, that I can do this. Actually, look at me, I'm doing this. It's okay. And it's really boosted my confidence, I think. Having just going through that experience and like you said earlier, you kind of, things don't go wrong. All the things that you worry about don't happen, and things run smoothly, and even if you get lost, which was like a huge fear of mine, you manage to find your way back again. So all those fears kind of shrink. So for me, it was that the whole experience of doing it and going, look at me, I did that, and and not only I did it, I really enjoyed it. And I think that's I think that's really important.
Yes, absolutely. I love that answer. I love the idea of just the part of the journey, and the fact that every journey is literally going to have its highs and lows, and the joy of saying I did it, joy of saying I can do it. And like in your case and in my case, now we keep on doing it because we love it so much.
Go to all the places.
Absolutely. Now, would there be any place that you would not travel alone?
I don't think so. I am still a bit nervous because I'm still fairly inexperienced in traveling abroad. I am still a little bit nervous about maybe like Egypt and India. I really want to go to India, but you read a lot of mixed stories about the sort of harassment of women and how women are kind of treated in these kind of places. So I'm not sure yet if I would go 100% on my own, or if I would maybe start off on a tour to kind of feel my footing out. But there isn't anywhere I wouldn't go. No, absolutely not.
No, I love that answer. I think it's very, very popular fear in most women, and this is quite probably one of the reasons that I take tours to India. It's like a very small group of women that would love to travel solo, and they do everything with their own agenda, but they just come in that umbrella of being with me, so to speak. So they don't feel that they're kind of like thrown in the deep end, and they fear that how they will be treated when they're in India, and the language barrier and cultural barrier and everything else. And once they get there, they literally start to blossom. I've seen women that have taken on the market like the locals do, I had to drag you out and saying we have to go now.
I know I'm not good at haggling yet. I need to work on that. There's something just I find it really difficult.
But also I think it is like the experience. They're not really wanting things for cheap. It's just the experience, because it's something that makes them feel like they're part of the local experience, because that's what we want. We want the authentic experience.
Exactly. Yes.
It's, in hindsight, we all have things that we love and things that we don't love. And one of the things that I found that people constantly say to me that they want to have the experience shared with someone. So I think when you're in a group situation, you can always have dinner with someone at the end of the day and sit down and have a little chat. But as long as your group allows you to have that whole day experience on your own, so you're not compromising, you're not on somebody else's agenda, so to speak. One place that you've been, Tracy, that you are so excited to go back again, or in your case, you'll probably say all of the places.
That's the sort of place I still want to go. I would love. I went to China last year, and I would really like to go and explore China some more. So it's vast, obviously, and there's so many places still to see. I'd really want to go to where I can't remember what the word is in Chinese, but it's like where the Avatar Mountains are. It's just looks so beautiful. So I was mostly in cities last time. So I'd like to get out a little bit more. So I'd love to go back to China.
That sounds exciting. I think, anything that's different to where you normally live is always like a, attraction. What places in China did you actually see last time?
We were in Beijing and took a trip out to the Sima Great Wall, which was an amazing achievement. It was just an amazing experience. And we went to a town called Tianjin, which is like a university town, and had some sort of local experiences around there. So I didn't get very far. It was just kind of quite a small area, but so that taste of it definitely has inspired me it's really high up there. I really want to go back.
That's absolutely wise to do that. I think, you go get a taste of it, you love it, you go back for more. If you don't like it, you can say you've done it and you don't need any more of it. I think that's a really wise idea to, take the taste of it first. Now, when you are traveling, what is one thing you love to do? Love to see or love to experience?
Yeah, I think I've already kind of answered that. I've realised that I really love visiting churches, and I always knew I loved visiting museums. So those two things are big loves, but I also love to walk. So I really want to kind of find that confidence to start doing some guided walks, or just go and do some walks, a bit more hiking kind of out of the cities. So that's one thing that I'm aiming for soon to start doing, because I love, obviously I stay in a very rural place and I love walking. So that's my next kind of goal, to go and be able to do that as well. And so not just the city experience, but that kind of more experiencing more of the whole country.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. City is beautiful, but city is just a city, and it's very much similar to any city in the world. I know what you mean by, just getting out of the city, bit more into the local rural areas and experiencing the rural lifestyle, and meeting people who are more like, not tourism based or hospitality based, more like local people. I love walking. Whenever I go anywhere, I love to walk instead of, like, even though the trams are cheap and the trains are easy, I think you miss out on so much actual experience, and to kind of like get lost and found all these little treasures and little gems that you find when you're lost. Yeah, so I love walking. Walking is my favorite as well.
I'd much rather walk between sort of places than like get the underground kind of system, which is fine if it's a longer distance, but I wouldn't, like you, I'd much rather be walking around.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. I remember my very first trip, I had to throw my shoes away because there were holes in them. By the time I was finished with the day, I would walk like 4 or 5 hours a day constantly.
Yeah.
It was the best way to see it. Underground, you get there quick, but you don't see anything. So
exactly.
you kind of like miss out on what you were there for. So my last question, Tracy, if someone is thinking about going on their very first solo adventure or solo trip, what would you advise be for that person?
I would say do some research. Find out if you need a SIM card at the airport so you can access like local taxis and such like. Read all about the place that you're going. So you've got a bit of I know some people just kind of like to go and kind of go with the flow, but I'm more of a planner. I don't want to miss things. So I want to know what kind of places I can see when I go visit. So do lots of research. Find out, my number one tip would be find out how to get from the airport or however you arrive to your accommodation.
Yes.
And print it out just in case there's any issues with your phone when you get there, so that you've got that. And take a photograph of it if it's in a different language. Take a photograph of it or print it out so that you've got the name of it in the local language, just to help you find that. Because that when you first arrive, it's all a bit overwhelming and just like, and like having that clear instructions how to get to your accommodation, I think, can really just help you relax a wee bit. That would be much so. Yeah, find knowledge, do some research, and make sure you know how to get to your accommodation.
Absolutely. Very, very good advice. I actually have to admit, when you're going to a place where that is, they don't speak your language, it is very important to have your address of your hotel in writing, so you can show it to someone without, like, wrong pronunciation can take you to a wrong town or a wrong hotel or a wrong city almost. So it's absolutely,
that would be a really stressful start to your break, wouldn't it? We wouldn't want that.
Absolutely. That's an awesome advice. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you for joining me. This was amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. These stories are to inspire other women who are sitting on their sofa thinking, should I go traveling? Oh, I don't have anyone to travel with. So, these videos will inspire them that they can do it themselves. Doesn't matter what age they're at, everybody is able to do it. And research and ask away. We are all here to give you information, inspire you, and fill your mind up with all that things that will make you at ease when you are traveling. So enjoy and travel solo and have fun. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.